So are you happy to hear that I'm the last? Right, so I'm David from Global Leader 2 and nice to meet you.
No plus points, right?
Alright, so today I'm standing here to talk about the lessons that history has left us. And the history and our ancestors left us many lessons to follow. Harmony, peace, education and welfare system are the examples. These lessons they left us taught us many things and were combined together to create the definition of human rights. But we have to think about one thing here. Has history left us only the things we should follow? Won't there be a warning not to do such a foolish thing again? There are quite many examples to show. So first to start with, there is the establishment of war. War started from quite a long time ago, from the Neolithic period, when some tribe didn't get enough crops and were starving to death, attacked another tribe, and the tribe being attacked tried to defend, and this was the original form of war. What does a war bring? It may bring wealth to some people, like the man in power, but the majority of the people have their houses destroyed, their family members tortured and killed, and themselves without even a bottom dollar or a job. It brings people tragedy. According to a study made, the 99% of the total casualties were neutral civilians at the first war recorded, and from the Middle Ages, more neutral civilians were killed, and from the World War, the civilians began to outnumber soldiers, and at the Korean War, the civilians rated up more than 70% of the total mortality rate, and finally at the Vietnam War, the civilians rated more than 97% of the total casualties. So, well, there is one Korean movie that illustrates the tragedy of war very well. Have you ever heard of a movie called Welcome to Dongmakbol? So, naive civilians who didn't even know that the war broke out and didn't even care became the scapegoat of the war. Why can't people who just try to live peacefully keep their right to maintain their peace and freedom? People are dying out under the grade of the man in power. And secondly, to show, and not only our ancestors left us lesson, but long time ago, even before the mankind existed on Earth, our planet left us a lesson that nature can go on a rage when certain conditions are satisfied. So, when carbon dioxide flourished the Earth, which is CO2, the Ice Age came, leaving warnings to the foolish descendants. And the foolish descendants are ignoring those lessons from the Mother Nature. What is even more idiotic is that we know this warning. Just think how funny it would be when you see a person sleeping right in front of the sign saying, "Warning, crocodiles passing through here." It's such nonsense. The prior living creatures sacrifice themselves to leave lessons to the next generation of life, not to fulfill these conditions, which is being clearly ignored. What are their sacrifices for? And lastly, I will start with some common sense. So do you know how we found out about blood types, like AB, AB and O? So, when Deutschland was persecuting the Jews, the Nazi scientists took blood out from 4 of the rabbis' body, which was total 25 liters. And this blood was distributed to 100 Jews, 250 milliliter per person. And as a result, some people died and some people didn't die. And people who died had different type of blood, like if the rabbi was A, that person